Welcome to the Graffiti Jungle, another episode of Tangential Thoughts Chat Show. I'm your chief, Jahar. Season 2, episode 35, How to Smoke a Cigar Pipe. So, once you have your cigar pipe, another thing I would encourage is that you also have a tamper. Now, a tamper like this you can find for less than $10 on Amazon. This part, you can use to clean your pipe. Still not sure what this part is for, but this part is to tamper, push down the tobacco. The first thing you want to do is, of course, fill your cigar pipe with tobacco. The important part is how you fill it. So you might have to play with it depending on the pipe. Now this is my Italy pipe. It says Italy on the side. Now the way I fill this pipe is different from how I fill my corn cob. If you're going to just start out and you just want to try it out, I would suggest starting with the corn cob. That was my first pipe. Now the way I fill my Italy pipe, I fill it like, you know how they tell you to wash clothes, let the clothes fall in freely, not tangled up. That's how I kind of like to fill this pipe. I usually don't even use the tamper, kind of use my fingers sometimes. I fill this one lightly. Now as you're filling, two things you want to keep in mind. As you just saw, the way I was puffing was easy. That's how you want to be able to puff your pipe, easy. So as you're putting it in there, the tobacco, you don't want to put too much and you don't want to put too little. Too little, and when you light it up and you puff, your tongue will be burnt over the next few days or so. Not a good feeling. Too much, and it's hard to puff. So those are things to keep in mind. So, as you can see, this is not filled to the brim. It's filled about 75%, about 3/4 of the way. But this one is filled very lightly. I'm not even, boom. Now, there's a couple ways to light your cigar pipe. You can use a lighter, or you can use matches. Now, I don't like matches because sometimes if you're outside during the day, the wind will completely just blow out the matches.
I'm off the line. What'd he say? I'm out of line.
But
he said I put the
gloves
gloves on. Popcorn ready. He said I put the gloves on like Mike Jack. I go from OG to OJ.
The moon glow. Pollution ain't got a house to live in, ain't got a pool of swimming, changing their pockets, no accounts to lose it. And route to Houston with the contribution for the monster juices. Monster too slow, macho cujo, macho mucho, big bad wolf, watch the moon glow. I got a Greek freak, she call me Antetokounmpo, just follow the Kupo, and I know that you know I'm hotter than soup, she still swallow my soup bowl, I'm out of my loophole, you out of the loop though, got all these
Now, as you have it lit up, what you notice me doing is puffing. but you don't see the smoke coming out of my nose. I am not inhaling the smoke. As I draw in, I'm pushing the smoke right back out. Now, as you're initially lighting it, you want to give some deep puffs. And you know you're pretty good by how the smoke is coming out. Now, one of the drawbacks to puffing a cigar is the fact that you do have to keep relighting it. One of the reasons is because once you light up the tobacco, it begins to rise. So you can see it's not as flat as it was. Hopefully you're able to tell. It has risen. Hold your pipe whichever way feels naturally for you. Me, I hold it in between my pointer finger and my middle finger. Now this pipe, I fill it, hold it, light it differently. And since I've had this corn cob for about March, April, May, June, July, about 5 months, some people don't even hold them that long, but this was my first pipe. So I have to do a little more care and maintenance with this one. So first thing I have to do is make sure that these two are clear. I can blow through that one, it's clear. This it's plastic and it has a hole in it right now because of the biting, which is something you kind of want to refrain from, but it just naturally happens when you're not holding the pipe. This one cost a little more. This was $10, this was $50. This one costs a little more, so biting it and things like that, it can withstand a little more. And then make sure this part is clear. And I just put the tamper through, run it through there. And you can see some of the tobacco residue still there. And then just kind of clear out the bowl just a little bit. tobacco comes out. Now, because it's a little bit older, it's old for a corncob pipe. Still works. But I like the fact that it's easily to decompose it and break it down. And then you're gonna see how I light it. So again, as far as filling it, you don't wanna do too much. But what I do with this one is I put a little bit in there, tamper it down. Then I'm gonna put a little bit more. Because one thing, the top part of the tobacco is lit first, but as you're drawing and pulling in, that flame has to catch down, so all the tobacco kind of has to touch. But once you light it up and that first part rises, then that's why you have to light it again and tamper it back down. So this one is a longer bowl in comparison to that one. It's a little bit longer bowl. Still, I'm not gonna fill it up all the way, as you see. I'm not gonna fill it up all the way. And I'm also just going to poke where the stem is, that opening hole is, so it can be a decent draw. Now the way I like this one is I turn it. I turn just this part right here, and then I use the Zippo lighter. Now I hold this pipe by the bowl. Same thing, some of it already has risen, so I'm gonna tamper and push it back down. And another reason I like Zippo lighters so much, like I told you with the matches, the wind can take it. The Zippo lighter is wind resistant. So once you're finished with one bowl, you can take your tamper, loosen up that tobacco. You see how that was the last one. And you see how all of it just kind of fell, it's all ash now. Loosen that up and then tap that out. And then what I generally kind of do is just like to blow, just to clear it all out. And as you see, as quickly as I let it and it was puffing, it's no longer puffing. I gotta light it up again. And that's how you puff a cigar pipe.